Okay, maybe you can hear me now. Jesus. Anyway, um, had a rough week, really rough week, and so I thought I'd just go off about Giant Man. And give me a second here. I'm still. Okay, give me 1 second. This is typical of the week I've had, man. It's just things don't want to work. Okay, yeah, here we go. Giant Man, and you know, I was when the stream. I was at work. Um, Which is funny, I've seen a bunch of lives, since this, and I was like, I'm looking going, "Do people work? I mean, do people actually work for a living?" Oh, sorry, I shut my camera off because I was looking like an idiot. Uh, so, yeah, I keep wondering, do people actually work? Because it's like everybody seemed to have a live today. I couldn't do it because, reasons. Anyway, Giant Man, when the stream started, I saw that price. Nice price, $200, you know? And we're at 2,437 backers, which makes me think, yeah, this will fund. So I'm like, oh wow, 200 bucks and like 24-inch tall figure. Yeah, that okay. That tracks if you know, we get a couple of figures. I mean, that's a perfect price. So then, of course, they deflate me by saying, the tiers are head. You get head for the tiers. Yeah, whatever, man. Get a zombie head or a giant man head. Ooh. And not even a full head on the zombie, you just get a faceplate. I mean, wow, talk about sucking the air out of my day when I found that out. I mean, I had seen it live, had to get back to work, got back to work, did not know anything about the faceplate and the as the tears. So then I went back in and looked at the tears. I was just like, oh man, you gotta be kidding. So now I'm like, okay, this does not seem to be the value I thought it was. This is a little less, in my opinion. I mean, it's like I was thinking two figures. This becomes 150 bucks, and I just I'm one of those guys that keep preaching. The tiers are not the base offering, but you know, I mean, it's pretty obvious you're gonna hit them. But at the same time, it's like now it's like okay, so this is 200 bucks. I mean, the tiers suck. Let's just face it, the tiers totally suck. And, you know, again, I would catch pieces of the shills on their, feeds, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's a perfectly logical explanation." No, it's not. Quit shilling. I mean, it's these tiers suck. They're awful, and they're not worth the I mean, they're not worth it. I mean, honestly, that would go into a drawer and just be there. I know some people are gonna say, "Oh, you're just a negative Nancy," and I'm like, "No, I don't." I'm really torn on this because I don't see the value. I don't see this being a $200 item. I This looks like something that could be in regular retail for much less. And yeah, it's like, it doesn't jive with me. It's not resonating. Is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. And I hear people say, "Well, that's great for a HasLab." And I'm like, "Oh, is that our criteria now? Is just like, oh, it's good for a HasLab? I mean, shouldn't it be good? Period. Is there another criteria we're making now for just because it's a HasLab? Just because it's a HasLab? I mean, by that rationale, the um, Jurassic Park gate was a good HasLab. By that rationale, the Engine of Vengeance was good for a HasLab. Just like, give me a break on that. The swappable face thing is a decent idea. I mean, it's not terrible, but at the same time, it's like, and there you see it beside a Captain America, and it's like, yeah, he's a big old boy, but you know, I don't know. And they kept bragging the most articulated figure of all time. And I'm like, well, yeah, but what's and this I don't get is like, they say they show the full face, and then he has a mask over it when he's on, and I don't see a seam, so I'm really confused how that goes. Does it go under the mask? And I don't think anybody's really explained how that's supposed to work as of yet. So I'm confused on the engineering. And God, I want to like this so much because it's like, God, I really would like to have a giant man. But at the same time, I'm looking at it going, man, it's like, okay, this should have been better, I think. I mean, that's me talking. I think this should have been much better. I think they should have given us a couple of things. I mean, God, even a Hank and a Wasp. I mean, boom, you're done. Just give us a variant of Wasp and you know a Hank and regular sized giant man, and boom, we're done. We've nailed it. Boom, we got it. It's perfect. It's awesome. But instead we get a faceplate and a damn head. God, it makes the Doom head look far superior. And I mean, I'm not asking for like a big bunch of stuff. It's like it just seems like figures are a better idea. And I saw somebody say, "Oh well, they won because of figures that were hidden behind a paywall." And I'm like, "No, it was those figures that were meant to drive up an undesirable HasLab," is what we were saying. And it was Mephisto and the Goblin Queen, and they were trying to make the Hell Charger more desirable when nobody wanted it. So yeah, it's and you tell me you misunderstand without telling me you misunderstand. And I'm not happy with this. I mean, at the same kind, time I'm tempted because God, it is a decent giant man, and I mean it's going for the price. I actually looked it up. It's going for the price for the Toy Biz Build a Figure. So it's like that makes it even worse. It's like, do I spend the same amount of money for this as I do for the Build a Figure, which is admittedly shorter, but at the same time, I think it looks a little better. It's not quite as tall. I mean, Giant Man's a tough one because it's like, how tall should Giant Man be? And yeah, Giant Man should not be towering. Um, oh yeah, well, that was another one. It was like, well, it's so much cheaper than the Sentinel and which I meant to check. Isn't the Sentinel and I think both Sentinel and um Galactus are much were much taller. Let me see here. They still list the HasLabs on this, don't they? Thought they did. I'm just, who are we? Where was it? It was, figures I found it before the stream, but oh, there. Let me see what HasLab says. There's Marvel Legends. All right, so let me scroll it on down. Here we go. Okay, I knew it was on here somewhere. This is why I don't do lives, man, because I can hide all this crap. Okay. Okay, so the Sentinel's 26. Okay, so it wasn't that much taller. Um, what was I'm sure Galactus was a lot bigger. Yeah, Galactus was uh, uh, oh yeah, Galactus was 32, so he was much taller. But half of that was his little horns and his hat. So yeah, I mean, mm, but there's also more there. It was more with it, and I'm just so torn on this because it's like, yeah, it's a cool version of Giant Man, yeah, but at the same time, it's not. I don't know. I don't know. I really am. The tears really mess with me because it was like, oh, well, at least I used that from a variation of that was what was appeared on the cover of the Marvels. So that's kind of neat. I'm kind of really torn on this because it's like, yeah, okay, that's all right. I mean, I think it should be about 150, but that's me. Um, I always think HasLabs are higher than they should be. The Ghost should I felt this Ghost should have been 300. Um, that's just taking the dimensions of it and looking at it, and yeah, okay. And plus, what's the real playability? I mean, there's only like a very thin section that's playable in that. So passing on the Ghost wasn't a big deal. Giant Man almost feels like essential to my Avengers. I mean, I got a 6-inch Giant Man that came out. I think it was with the first Ant-Man movie, but and I sometimes use that in my Marvel Universe. Oh, I just hit the mic, dude. I'm sorry. I sometimes use that in my Marvel Universe Avengers. So yeah, at the same time, this is just no. Oh yeah, and that was the other one was that. Oh well, because you know Hasbro owns GI Joe, they don't have to worry about licensing, and they should get more with GI Joe. And I'm looking at it going, by that rationale, the Marvel Legends and GI Joe should have a different price point. They don't. So you're actually admitting that they overcharge for GI Joes, which I kind of agree. Actually, they do charge overcharge for GI Joes, but that's beside the point. Yeah, I'm very torn. I'm very torn. It's like in one level, I think it's pretty cool. On another level, I'm like, what? Because it really went from a real high when I first saw that to really low when I saw the tears. That's what changed. And expectation is reality. And the tears, I expected more. I expected at least I wasn't as ambitious as some people. I saw some people thinking, "Oh, they're gonna be all kinds of stuff with this giant man." No. I wasn't thinking that. I think probably 2 figures, and, that would be sufficient for me anyway. I I don't know. I mean, I'm really torn on it. I'm not enthusiastic and as excited as a lot of people are, but I don't hate it either. So there you go. I did like I said, just did an impromptu stream just to kind of vent my frustrations on the part I'm frustrated about, and then see how I feel after that. So give me a little time, and I'll probably tell you what I'm thinking. Right now, I'm thinking, those tears really bring it down. I know some people are like, "Oh no, I'm gonna buy 2, maybe 3." And I was like, "Okay, whatever, dude. You can do what you want. I'm not gonna tell you not to. I'm just talking for myself here." And I'm not as enamored as a lot of people are. Really not. Um, And I'm sitting here thinking too, it's like maybe he's just a little too tall. Maybe he went a little past where he needed to go. Um, I know I saw, I'm thinking about it. I saw, where was it? I mean, look at here with the Avengers. I mean, he's huge, right? But then I believe it's down here. They show us a comic cover, and he's not quite that big. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, again, don't hate it, don't love it. Very torn. Very torn at this point. Um, will I back it? I don't know. I can't say I won't. Can't say I will. Just torn, man. Very torn. So yeah, I mean, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but at the same time, I got to be honest. I mean, this is not the HasLab I expected, and this is the first one that ever tempted me. As much as as much as it is. What I kind of hope is that this will drive down the Toy Biz price, and then people will. It'll be affordable again. But if anything, I think what's happening is it's actually driving up the price because people are like, "Nah, let me get that." Good job, Hasbro. Thanks. Uh, other than that, I thought the live stream was kind of lame. It was just, yeah, 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 yeah. People were just kind of there. So, yeah, that's my Debbie Downer run on the Giant Man. So that'll be it for now. All right. Nobody's here, I don't think. I didn't see a comment at all. So, all right. Well, that'll wrap it up. But thanks for stopping by and have a good one.